Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mr. Rader here. We're going to be doing a web quest for credit cards today, and we're going to examine how comparison shopping when researching credit cards are going to help you to better manage scarce resources. So, as a quick recap from our last lesson on June 9th, what are some of the things to keep in mind in order to be a responsible credit card user? So one of the first things we're going to look at in a moment is the answer key to the credit card balancing activity, where we started with a certain amount of credit card debt and we began paying it off 1 month at a time. So as a reminder, one of the things that I'm going to really try to emphasize is the understanding that when you use a credit card, you need to live within your means. Do not live beyond your means. A credit card is not a gift card. It's not free money. Think of it like cash. If you have the cash on hand to make a purchase, then you should make the purchase and pay off the bill in full when it arrives, okay? As best as you can. I mean, there are going to be some times in life where needs come up where you can't necessarily pay it off immediately, but for any of the major wants, be responsible with how you use your credit card. Okay, so this is the answer key to the worksheet we were looking at yesterday. So if you remember, this individual started off with a balance of $3,000 that they owed their credit card company. Every month they would pay off $200. They would make new purchases of $115. And we would calculate the monthly interest payments that they were making on their credit card. And in the final column, we have the cumulative total interest that they've paid over the course of each month, starting at $94 in month 1 and ending with $555.83 in month 12. So one of the things I want to just point out, if you notice with this particular credit card, two things to keep in mind when you do your comparison shopping today. First, notice the annual fee. Some credit cards will have them, other credit cards will not. In this case, it's $49. This $49 does add into the total interest and fees for the year, and it would be $49 less had this person chosen a credit card with no annual fee. Secondly, note the interest rate, 18% for the year. When you take 18 divided by 12, you get 1.5% for the month. Now, the biggest takeaway I want you to kind of could see, again, as you're checking your answers, notice the amount of the balance that was paid off. $3,000 goes down to $2,582, which, just doing a rough estimate, we're really looking at about $418 of the principal that was paid off over the course of a year. And in that same year, $555 paid in interest. So in fact, more money was actually paid in interest than was actually being spent to pay off the balance. That's important. Okay, so your Google Doc has two graphic organizers. The first graphic organizer is to look at a credit card for your college years when you're a relatively new credit card user. So this is what the organizer is going to look like. You'll go to this website. You'll look at least 5 of the credit cards that are designed specifically for college students. And what you'll do is you'll write down the name of the credit card that you think is the most interesting. You'll look up its annual fee. You'll look up its APR, annual percent rate. Again, think of the interest that we looked at the other day. If you need credit, is it no credit? Is it fair credit or excellent credit? New or fair, you might have an opportunity to get as a relatively new user. Excellent credit, you can't get until you build a credit history. And then any benefits of the credit card rewards. So when you go to the website, you'll get to this page and it will break down the best student credit cards as of May 2020. And you'll scroll through it, you'll look through some of the ones that you might be able to apply for, read the details, and then see if there's something that is interesting to you. Okay, so this is the first screen that you'll notice. It'll tell you the name of the credit card. It'll tell you its potential rewards rate. Some are like 1% cash back, some are 1.5% cash back for all purchases. Some are travel cards where it's like 2 times the points on particular purchases. This one gives a cash back match and gives you 5% cash back on different places such as grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, ride shares, online shopping, and again, different places as it breaks it down. You'll want to go into the specific details so that you know what is the things you need to keep in mind. The APR is something also that's important to keep in mind. Notice it's a range. You'll want to see the more specific details to see which one will apply to you. But in general, the higher the interest applies to people with worse credit scores. If this is a credit card that you really like and you think it'd be worthwhile and you're 18, by all means, click the Apply Now button, read through it, and maybe even today you can get your very first credit card. Okay, so when I do go into some of the more specifics, again, they kind of break it down in terms of the interest rate. So again, notice the APR. It ranges based on your credit worthiness. They explain if you need to do a balance transfer or cash advance. That's another major lesson I really want you to kind of take out of this lesson. Unless you're desperate, I mean really desperate, do not take a cash advance on a credit card. Look how high that interest rate is. It's one of the worst things you could possibly do as a credit card user. Okay. Notice again, no annual fee, so that's a nice thing. So something to kind of keep in mind. Okay, so then for the second activity, it's a different website. It's NerdWallet. It's a pretty useful website for doing comparison shopping for credit cards and other financial instruments. Uh, Again, I'm just going to move the camera thing here for a moment. Make sure that you read the fine print for the credit card to determine whether or not it actually appeals to you and if it's something you can actually apply for now. Really kind of thinking out once you've built a credit history in the next couple of years. So thinking about suitable credit card for your adult life beyond college. And then on that website, just some things to kind of keep in mind. They do break it down. So, like maybe you're interested in a credit card that rewards travel, or one that is for business cards, or cash back, bad credit, rewards, so on and so forth. And you click on it, you'll compare cards and you'll figure out what works well for you. So, that brings us to our summary slide. And the question I want you to answer in your Google Doc is how can you determine which credit card is right for you right now, right for you down the line? What credit cards did you learn more about today? So a couple of sentences just explain to me what you got out of the lesson. And then going back to the big essential question for the unit, how can responsible credit card ownership help you to better manage our scarce resources? Remember, at the end of the day in economics, everything comes down to choice. And the choices are something that we have to make because of the economic concept of scarcity, right? There's only a limited amount of resources that are available, so we have to make decisions about how to best use and allocate those resources both in our own personal finances, and then governments have to make the same decisions when it comes to public finance, and a lot of that is intertwined with our beliefs, with our value systems, and with our needs and wants, and these are all things I want you to keep in mind. All right, everybody, have a great day. Take care.